So one thing I didn't notice earlier, and I didn't even know if this is in the, like, before you start a game, if you have no save, uh, is the main character just sitting there all the time at their desk? It's kind of a nice touch. I wonder if stuff changes as you go. I was eyeballing that erase option going, that looks too convenient. So yeah, this is... Oh yeah, it is. It does change because you have the horn. And the like, locket or whatever. Oh, I bet you get all sorts of stuff then. Okay, I don't think I can afford... Yeah. Come back later then. So it seems that I can't chase down our frog friend, I think. There, where was it? There was the gravedigger, whatever his name was. I can't remember. Probably in the cemetery. What is the next one? He was able to tell me where to go from there, and I don't remember where I should go. I know it was like an undying beast, and then the rest I don't remember. Oh, is this getting pretty close to... Where are we? The summit. Okay, so I should probably head back to the summit first. Also, I'm playing with my... I've got like compression gloves for arthritis. I don't officially have arthritis, but my hands are a little bit mangled from playing so much Guilty Gear recently. And, you've got to be able to jump at some point. It's probably one of the buttons you don't... that isn't bound yet. Maybe? But yeah, I was playing Guilty Gear last night after more or less flaking on the stream. And, door's still here. Yeah. And that game is murder in my hands. Incredible. You've already achieved more in the short time than I was able to in countless years. If you can reach the souls of the other two giants, we can open Death's Door. I suggest you head east, beyond the woods. There, a self-proclaimed king reigns over the ruins of a flooded cathedral, tormenting the denizens of the forest. Frog King, okay. Considering I have a... Well, I guess so, I guess... Considering I've got that fire ability, I should be able to... I would think, right? I should be able to get... It said east. We just go... We find a door, just go in there. Or, I don't know, I guess this is close enough. If only I had the tiniest bit of haste. I don't think I even put a point into it yet. Have I? Does it show? It doesn't show your stats. Powerful witch, driven by her maternal instincts and consumed by her endeavors to outwit death. She filled her life with a passion for magic, reanimation, potions, and pots. So actually, thinking about it, so if death is actually an entity in this game, then the Lord of Doors perhaps had been stuck taking over and didn't really want it, maybe? Especially considering the Lord of Doors is very, like, once you're kicked out, there, you could see them kind of like, I don't want to say in a bit of a huff, but you could tell they're not thrilled. Yeah, here we go. This is where... Well, no, I already had the fire ability. Why Yeah, I got that really early. So yeah, I wandered all the way over there. I guess I already knew what I was doing and I just... forgot something? I should have reviewed the stream. I'm totally blanking on what I was doing. So I opened a pathway. That's what it was. Yeah, let me go a little closer, a little further in. Also nice that it pauses everything. You don't get hit as you leave. It isn't like a Dark Souls 2 situation where you're not allowed to... Probably Mushroom Dungeon? You're not allowed to... you can't just run from fog gate to fog gate. Yeah. This is... Okay, I remember now. I got here and I stopped. I remember. Okay. Yeah, I didn't do any of this yet. It's all coming back to me now. Yeah, it was like, I thought I was at... Something new was happening. Oh. There's the frog, yeah. Oi, Reaper. What are you doing here? When my grunt said there was some shady crow causing trouble in the ruins, I had to come see for myself. If you hear from my soul, then tough luck. I earned my power, fair and square. I'm just thriving in the system your lords created. Lords plural, huh? Hey, how about... Yeah, that's right. Oh, it's you again. Living Reaper, a hunger for souls. Yep, I can understand that. I was hungering for a sandwich earlier. I never even had my sandwich. I actually ended up ordering yesterday. It was pizza. I really shouldn't have. It was a stupid idea. I tend to get into this habit of like, oh man, like, especially lately, like, due to COVID, it's like, how long can I go before doing another big grocery pickup? But it's like, all that means is that I ran down to almost nothing, and then I'm like, oh, well, you know, I should order a pizza, because I really don't feel like eating one of the couple things that I even have. I should just... Once I hit that point where I'm about to go order a pizza, I should really just get groceries again. Not try to stretch it out another couple more days. We're gonna have much in my fridge. I've got... Ooh. Alright. That's probably our big weapon for breaking down barriers and stuff. So no bombs, strangely enough. What would we do? Oh, it goes out. See. So I can't do this unless I can do it real quick. But yeah, I don't have any bread or anything on me, but what I wanted to do, grocery-wise, was, before I make another big grocery trip, like this weekend, I have in my fridge... Oh, can I not get back either? Oh, okay. What I wanted to do... I don't know if I can hit back. Oh, no, okay. I have like a pork shoulder, or like, you know, like a Boston butt. You know, not the big giant, not the big thing. And I was gonna make some pulled pork sandwiches, but I've got to go ahead and find the time to make the buns for it. Hence the weekends. Actually, on top of that, there is a recipe I'm going to follow. There's a recipe for... it should be relatively quick and easy, like more or less from scratch, mac and cheese, rather than going like blue box mac and cheese. Here we go. Shortcut. I wanted to make that nice, like, barbecue joint style, like, spiced up mac and cheese. I just haven't had time to make it. And I was only going to make it with... if I happen to have the pulled pork on hand, so... gotta get around to that. This has been like a multi-stage affair. Okay, so like just these two? Yeah. I had a bit of a temporary crisis trying to figure out if... can't go far enough, I don't think. Trying to figure out if I had a good recipe for, okay, really? Okay. One more try. Oh, I do have a max range, okay. I was trying to figure out if I had properly mastered making, the dough that I'd be using for both, like, burger buns as well as hot dog rolls. And, the recipe is actually fine. The concern was, two things. One is, the temperature and time for making, for baking it, as well as how long to proof it. And you need to proof it way longer than you would think, and you need to cook it way shorter than you think. These are Jerp thoughts during a stream. Dig it a key. Do I want to spend it here though? This way to the Frog King's domain. Am I not? I guess not. I'm only in the Mushroom Dungeon. Shortcut. Let's go. Yeah. So that is definitely our Frog King. Or it could have been, like, the frog soldier before he turned rogue. Maybe it was a frog hero in the past. And now it's a frog tyrant. Oh, yeah. I get it. Oh, okay. Everybody wants to be dead today. You're a new dude. Wait, are you the one with the projectile? Are you the one shooting artillery at me? Yeah. It's like a... not quite a shield, per se. Alright. Ooh, you're aggro, okay. So I guess that confirms iframes. I'm gonna have to remember whenever I make that stuff this weekend. Gotta take pictures of it. The last time I made... oh, come on. Last time I made pulled pork was ages ago, and I don't think I took pictures. Oh, that's too... Alright, whatever. I'm sloppy today. Gotta warm back up. I think I'm relying too much. I'm trying to rely too much on the fire as well, and that's not a good idea. Bows are fine. Or... oh, backwards, okay. Right. In my head, I'm just sitting there going, like, I'm going down and to the left, whatever that means. But not until I get over here first. Hey, whoa. Thanks for the raid cannon. You were streaming, crap, what was it called? I don't know why Jerpbot isn't responding. I gotta put another breakpoint in that and figure out why, it doesn't pick up on it. Oh, you were playing Guilty Gear? You were? Maybe Jerpbot is out of date. It's you again. Don't mind me, just out for a swim. Care to join me, Reaper? No? Probably a wise decision. If I'm being honest, I was gonna try and drown you. Oh, jeez, okay. Plus one, you get extra points for honesty. See, yeah, of course, yeah. See, I'm being honest. Surely that it counts for a virtual point. We'll figure out a redemption scheme for those eventually. Surely that counts for something. What do you say, truce? No, I'm still gonna kill you. Are you still playing Nagoriyuki in Strive, or are you playing something else? Yeah, I must have... Yeah, I skipped it. I went straight down. I've been trying to figure out what I would pick as a second character. The funny thing is that Nago was my first choice of character initially, before I remembered. Like, very split decision. Like, I'm looking at Strive, I'm like, this dude looks cool, he looks like he gets, like, super chunk, right? And, my reaction was basically that, he looked like a character I'd have to have very few inputs to do damage with. You know, like I'd have to just get a couple choice hits in and that would be it. But then I was like, there are other characters I'd rather play. And that turned out to be Faust. And it turned out Faust's inputs are really simple. It's just a shame that he's like bad with, you know, everything. Well, he's numerically bad. At least. Strategically, he's very interesting, and I think his playstyle is really cool. People are figuring out some stuff as well, like, you want to keep Afro State as long as you can, it seems. And there's like the conservative, like, do you want to wall break and focus on the positive bonus, or not, and focus on, I guess, corner potential, I guess. Lord of Doors is losing the plot in their old age. How could they have let our doors malfunction like this? Losing the plot. Oh man, so there's at least, in that case, there must be at least 12 of these crows then that didn't make it. So you haven't picked a second character yet. I was thinking about picking Zato, but then I realized that Zato is like a fight stick character, whether that's hitbox or arcade stick. You need to be able to hold buttons, and like the alternative would be like maybe if I hadn't. I was gonna say if I hadn't broke my Xbox Elite controller, but that thing died on its own. Hold on a minute. Are there more of these? The problem with Zato, yeah, and there's another use for a key. Yeah, I could have. So yeah, and I get one here, so I didn't need to hold on to it. Oh, there's a third one. Well, no, they last. I'd have to go around. The paddle buttons on like an Elite controller would make Zato easier to play. Ah, come on. Oh, that's probably better. Or, maybe, you gotta do it. You gotta do top to bottom. There. I haven't seen anything of New World, though. Am I mistaken in thinking that was a pirate game? There were like 2 or 3 pirate games released recently. I think people have been chasing the popularity of Sea of Thieves. Colonial Amazon PvPvE. Oh, is that the one that people were concerned about because basically, like, the whole premise of the game was kind of racist? I keep eyeballing down here. There's nothing here? Okay. There's been a couple games like that. Like I've been realizing I don't want to play prison themed games because I don't want to. I guess it's the same way that I don't want to play like World War, like realistic war, even remotely realistic war games. I think I draw the line at Command and Conquer. This is a situation where if I had that like axe-looking hammer thing, probably we could knock it down. This is why I need to get those keys. Yeah, and I'm sitting on 2. Alright, fine, let's go down. Or... I'm so unused to the thought... Yeah, okay, this is just the way in. So unused to the thought that you... Like, it doesn't matter if you fall... As long as you don't fall into liquid. Or spikes or whatever. I don't want to play prison games because I don't want to support that. I don't want to play World War games or whatever because I think too many wars we get into for the wrong reasons. Meanwhile, I still play combat-oriented games. Like, I don't know, like, maybe there's this... I'm not sure what level of hypocrisy there is there. Like, Strive is like, America totally messed up everybody, and we haven't learned anything. I feel ultimately that Amazon's vision of design for New World may be lacking. Oh, is that an Amazon game? I feel like I've gotten more than one request from Amazon to on LinkedIn, like, "Hey, let's chat." And I'm like, I don't know. No, actually, I'm 100% sure now. Thinking about it. All of like the recruiters still think I work on UI stuff. Ooh, massive active frames in that, I'm realizing. Or no, maybe not. I just canceled them out of it. Well, the important part is I didn't get hit, because I only have so much HP. And game industry, like, especially like bigger game industry stuff nowadays, like, or anything on the headlines, any headline related game industry stuff is like, man, choosing where to work in the game industry is becoming harder and harder because, like, obviously there's the continually present pervasive immaturity of the entire industry. But then also, like, not only both in terms of, like, just maturity of, like... Well, I mean, I'm trying to figure out which one I want to pick to say first, but, like, both are similarly relevant. Like, both not knowing how to treat employees and think for the long term, as well as the horrendous workplace culture at a lot of these places. And it's like... it's difficult to get perfection when picking where to work, because, like, if you work at the smaller places, you're just as much likely to hit ignorance as maturity issues. Like you're gonna have places like you're gonna work in places that don't have a lot of maturity to them. Yeah, I need to go back. This is just leaving the entire mushroom dungeon. I sort of meandered on out without even paying attention. Like I want to work places that know how to run and manage people and time and tasks, and you won't necessarily find that at smaller places. I want to work at places like it's like an impossibility of getting everything all together. But like, I want to work at a place that like generally values people, it doesn't treat them like shit, and doesn't exclude people or whatever. But I also want to work on games with design that... I guess I'm going the entire way back, aren't I? I want to work on games that are generally liked by players and stuff in terms of both like design and workflow and everything. You need someone that uses Scrum or something for workplace management. Well, yeah, you got all the agile this. Have I already... Is this the one that I came in from? Well, let's just jump back down and see. Oh, no. Well, I'll take it. I've lost complete track of what I was even doing. Like, this is where, like, every time I say that I have no clue where I'm going and I just end up in places and then I get lost very, very easily, this is an example of that. This is my legacy. Found the Thunder Hammer. This weapon crackles with a unique soul energy. Get equipment from the weapons menu. Okay, so I can't switch. Like on the fly. 2 swings. It's a little slower. This is one of those things that I think regarding UI development that's it's difficult to figure out how to represent this sort of stuff in games where like most players would probably want like swing speed instead as a metric. So you might like divide it into like how many swings per second or something. So you know this one might have a swing speed of 1.5 or 2 or whatever. Or some games just do pips or whatever. Doesn't feel that bad to use. Surprisingly fast. Ooh, chunk. But yeah, as I was saying before, like, the question of where to work. Oh, I can't kill him with a hammer? The question of where to work in a game industry, like, even things like ethical stuff, like just outside of like how the employees are treated, but outsourcers or hopefully I can use this. Will this work? This doesn't work? There's another ability then? Interesting. I'm gonna switch back to the sword because I don't want to think about how to use this thing well right now. Not one on a tangent. But yeah, like how companies respond to work, like to global issues and stuff. I think it's probably harder to find a company if you work at a big, if you're working at big places, AAA or whatever it ends up being. To find ones that aren't like just like either they're viewed as like soulless corporations or they don't handle their outsourcing correct or whatever it ends up being. And that's kind of why I don't think I could reasonably work at Amazon. But it's also like, it has the same kind of concern as like Here we go. This should be another... Pretty sure this is going to be another one of those. Yep, there it is. Another crow over there. I think a lot of the problem is that it's very difficult to find a way to do everything in a way that feels... To get every portion of your game industry employment in a good spot, because it's like the same way as, like, for example, how do you avoid all the big, like, Yum Brands type of food products, like, you know, oh, they, you know, all right, well, they're donating to shitheads, you know, on a political front, or they don't, you know, or they, you know, they don't source their ingredients in an ethical way, or like. You'd have to figure out some sort of nomadic or, you know, reclusive lifestyle away from civilization, and it's just like... It's one of those things where I don't know how to handle that. I don't know any sort of way to... It feels like you're basically picking between terrible options. And... it's difficult to understand how to do the least damage. Because, you know, if you ever go out and get fast food, then you're supporting, you know, you might be supporting low, like, poor wages, like, or you might be supporting, you know, egregious political contributions from, you know, such and such fast food, or whatever it is it being. Locked in a grimy dungeon, not the way I wanted to go. No kidding. I do, look, not to say that I've, like, given up on that thought process, though. Like, I definitely want to figure out how to, like, live and be a better person, both in terms of who I am, as well as, like, trying to minimize supporting, you know, either bad companies or whatever it ends up being. But it's hard. It's difficult. And I'm always... The other thing is I'm always on the lookout, like, even when it comes to what games I'm streaming, I'm like, alright, like, what game is this that I'm interested in? And who's the developer and who's the publisher now? And I have to think of, like, alright, well, is this one of the publishers that's done something scummy, or does this developer have, you know, practices that have crossed a line or whatever? I've already passed here. Suffice to say, I have no clue what I'm doing, both in real life and in this video game. I really thought the Thunder Hammer was gonna do, we have keys at least. I really thought the Thunder Hammer was gonna be the big special ability here. I already told you, Crooked Crow, you're out of luck if you think you'll be dethroning me. King of the Swamp, that's what they call me. Since I took charge, the swamp has been cleaned up, and now life thrives in the water. Those forest children and their mother were simply standing in the way of progress. It was nothing personal. I'm just adapting to the world as you and your lords have made it. Have you seen what it's like out there? It's a mess, a wasteland. Barely any new souls come into the world these days since your commission plugged up the system. Good job on that, Crooked Crow. What did I do? Well, I intend to find out. Boy, sure smells bad down here. Oh, this is literally just... Okay, I guess we're going to go into a sewer at some point, besides just the mushroom dungeon. So wait, there's one more key. I don't know if I can hit that back, but I'm not ready to find out. I was hoping I could roll across the gap there. Oh, there's 3 of them, okay. But yeah, going what I said before, like there's places that have offered me jobs in the game industry that I just don't want to work at, because like even if there might be some like favorable opportunities for me, it's like not the cost that, not what I'd be supporting, like a lot of bad behavior. Not that I have like infinite and perfect choice, because you know, it seems that's not achievable. Stuck to rot for eternity in a dungeon. There's nothing down here but crime, filth, and little frogs. I thought that was number 4. Okay, I guess number 4 will be the second key there. I have 10 of those seeds. Definitely not a big spender. Yeah, I can't even do this yet. The dungeons in this game are gigantic. You know, actually, Kenneth, speaking of strategies that might help any development, I still have the long-term idea. I don't know if I consider it to be a goal, but I have a long-term idea that at some point I'd like to be able to do like proper indie dev. And you know, successful indie dev would be cool too. But I'd like to take a shot at it at some point. Problem is that I think a lot of those aspirations are being held back by what I hope to find out. I'm hoping to find out that I have ADHD. That would be really helpful. Okay, now I get this. Alright, I guess I did need the hammer after all. But yeah, I finally hit up my doctor. I finally got a reply as to even how to start. So I'll be scheduled. I scheduled an appointment to begin to figure out, do I have ADHD? And considering I had a diagnosis when I was younger, and you know, which was, you know, not capitalized on at all, I'm pretty confident that'll be the case. And then that should be like a big giant leap for me in like productivity and just like general quality of life. And if I do end up being productive, if I do feel like I'm doing better with my life, then what'll be good about that? They shoot right away. if I feel like I'm getting a grip on things, that's when I'm going to be doing more hobby stuff, and hopefully I'll get into like properly picking at indie dev stuff, even small scale, even just like skill building stuff. All right, you little mashy button masher. Gotta remember, they shoot right away. Oh, I'm so glad I have all these seeds on me. They've overall been really generous with these things. The passages out of the dungeon are sealed, and the door back to the office has also somehow been sealed. We're trapped in here. Yeah. So a lot of the same coming from every single one of those, like... I wonder if... I guess you can only go in one order. It seems like it, because you don't... Like, you need the ability to set stuff on fire, so you have to do... that's a good point. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to remember... Yeah, because I need... You get the ability to set stuff on fire in the Urn Witch's place. Oh, jeez, therefore it's... I got the little beetles on the brain today. This is just... Okay, hold on a sec. This is just back to where we started. Well, yeah, I guess it makes sense, because I need to get back to the front of the dungeon. Alright, brain. You can do this. Remember how I said I thought I had ADHD? We're too far forward, I think. I think it's like relatively in front of the village. It's gonna be really, like, both... There's gonna be, like, sort of a tragic comedy to finding out. Like, if I can confirm beyond a shadow of a doubt that I have ADHD, then it's gonna be, like, a terrible confirmation, because it basically means that I would have known, like, 20 years ago, and I could have lived a way better life, whatever that means. And I ignored it because people didn't understand ADHD when I was younger. And, both in terms of, like, it was being misdiagnosed and the medication wasn't as good, but also because the prevailing thought from a lot of, like, parents and society in general... Well, not only was there, like, less acceptance of, like, mental issues back in the day, 20 years ago, but a lot of parents used to think it was bunk, and a lot of parents would view it as, like... Here we go, this is where I want to be. A lot of parents, the ones that thought there was anything to it, seemed to mostly be using it to placate kids who were out of control, and rather than proper medication, a lot of it was like they were getting prescribed antidepressants and stuff because it was parents who didn't know how to control their kids because they were bad parents, more so than like wanting to figure out what the real issue was. And, especially, like boomer parents would just assume that their kids are lazy, and like some of the outward presentation for ADHD looks like laziness. Because you just kind of seize up and can't get shit done. But when you're actually productive, you're extremely productive. It's just a question of like seizing that like rare moment when everything comes together. And that explains a lot of how my work went back in the day. I'm trying to remember where this door is. I know it's at the beginning somewhere. Like down somewhere. But I used to routinely stay super late at work, especially back between like 2019 or 2009 and 2014. See, this is my brain scrambling shit. So between 2009 and 2014 especially, I used to stay up really, really late working. Like, I would work beyond midnight routinely to get shit done. Part of it was because the workload was too high, but the place didn't know how to manage the anything really. But the other part of it, I think it's like over here, or God, I suck with this. This just loops back. Not only did the place not know how to manage work, and they did a lot of crunch, but sometimes it was very productive, and I would seize that and work very, very late to get stuff done. And other times I just couldn't get shit done. I think this is the beginning. I think I finally got it. Or, I don't know. No, this is the hammer. But what used to happen basically is like... Here we go, there's the door. I would get weeks of work done, like, in a couple nights. And then, oftentimes, like, between those random nights, I wouldn't get much done at all. Be wary, Living Reaper. Oh, I guess I should have gotten out of the way. You're gonna push me out. You know what's going on in the game? This is I mean, the basic premise is, overhead action RPG, dungeon crawler, so somewhat reminiscent of, like Zelda or whatever. But you're basically a crow. Ooh, this is a, hey, wait a second. They brought me back to the office? What was I gonna say? You're playing a crow who is basically their job is to be a reaper, to bring back souls to basically take out souls and bring them back that have overlived their expected lifetime. And you're basically like an agent. You're traditional Shinigami style. Oh, we got a challenge dungeon here. One of these mimic chests. Probably will attack me, right? Yep, okay. Alright, you stop that. Yeah. And it's the same terrain from before. I love this aesthetic. So you actually have to earn your power up. Alright, okay, so no fire shots here. Oh, there's a dude in a cloak? I guess they're pretty small, and unlike the YouTube recordings I'm making, this is all 720. Just, Twitch won't let you do high quality 1080. You spammer. Yeah, this is a different type of archer dude. It's like a bigger one. Alright, spammer. Oh no. Not you. You're an asshole. Oh no. Oh, even worse. Oh, I nearly got hit. Trying to be more aggro with this, but okay. Alright. Making me work for it. A gift to a fellow crow to aid you on your quest. Bomb spell, okay. Are they just like purple urns? Oh, right. Would help if I had any mana to cast with. That's like a straight firing thing, okay. I have basically a grenade launcher, more or less. Before I go in there, though, yeah. Oh, and I can read this. Whose notes? This appears to be a Reaper's abandoned logbook. A concerning seismic event has been recorded in the region surrounding Death's Door. We have been ordered to seal all doors and close all open assignments in the region. There are many Reapers still active there, but these orders are from way above, so I'm not going to question them. Still, I have to ask myself, what happened to the crows who are still out there? Well, perhaps they didn't make it. There's a lot of posters for the Lord of Doors out there. Out here, over here. Here's You've been all over the place, haven't you? Your doors are everywhere. A little bird told me you even ended up in the big boss's office at one point. What a strange thing. I wonder if someone tampered with your door. Okay. Alright, you. Could it have been you? Oh, sorry. That laugh sounded a bit ominous. Yes, it did. We're fighting for scraps these days. There's not enough assignments to go around, and only a handful of us Reapers left in service. I've heard whispers. There may be some crows living free outside the commission. There's at least one. Well, there seems to be at least one. What is this thing, and why does it just stare at me? So joyful, so carefree, so annoying. These funny little forest spirits have appeared out of nowhere. It's caused quite a stir around the office. I've had to file a lot of paperwork due to the infestation. It's great. I think this one likes me. I'll go to the soul vault. Yeah. I can afford that. Okay, what's the next one? I need to look at that before I leave. 1200? 50. Oh god, alright. Wow, okay, so my options have greatly expanded now. You found a surveillance device. It looks like someone has been spying on the commission. It's pretty, that's not the most covert surveillance device I've ever seen. This appears to be a Reaper's abandoned logbook. The recent scientific event has sent upper management into a frenzy. We've been ordered to scrub all mentions of it from records and close all active assignments in the region. I can't in good conscience let all those Reapers remain cut off from the commission and their homes. I'm going to try making my way into the vicinity to see if I can help them. If I make it back in one piece, I'll update my logs to indicate what I found. There are no more entries in this journal. Well, alright. That's how it's going to be. I'm shocked, right? Can I inspect this again? No. But there's the Lord of Doors. So I'm getting kind of convinced then there's more than one Lord, probably. And on top of that, there probably is an actual, like, death green, like, you know, I don't know if it's like a bird or what, but another, like, proper Grim Reaper type of character. Oh, I need to find some pots to destroy. They did mention, like, lords plural. Like, we're under the employ of more than one overseer. I wonder if, like, each of them... I wonder if there's, like, a whole other branch, like, a different branch of, you know, Shinigami Crow characters. What is this? You found a scale model of an ancient Reaper door. It doesn't function and was probably made long ago as a mock-up for the doors. Did I see Gold Lewis Dickinson? I saw 8 out of 16 possible variants of Behemoth Typhoon. This appears to be a Reaper's abandoned logbook. My colleague failed to return from a routine mission. I tried heading through his door to check in on him, but it was sealed shut. Orders from upper management apparently. Sent an inquiry to head office, but they insisted that this was a normal procedure and the case was closed. Still no word from my colleague. He mentioned he was being assigned to assist a powerful witch with some research last time we had lunch. He said he was a bit worried before he started, but it turned out she was quite a nice old lady. I wonder if she had anything to do with the closure? I hope he's alright. So yeah, that one went to the Urn Witch. But yeah, because of the amount of half circle inputs, I think I can't play that character, but I think it's cool. I hope I don't have too much trouble fighting him though. I'm already bad enough playing as Faust as it is. If I thought I could handle that amount of motions, I would probably have played him, but I already am starting to wear away the skin on my left thumb. I'm not even blistering yet. I've still got, like, callus skin to get through first. But I I don't know how much more Guilty Gear I'm gonna be able to play at a given time. Like I might like if I play enough Guilty Gear, I might end up getting a hitbox or something. Just for that. Just to not be like wearing down my fingers. But that's also a lot to learn, and I'm not thrilled with that prospect. But yeah. You've literally only played versus your friends, and that's been a while already? I've been asking people in the Discord if they want to play. And every time I post, even if I ping here, even if I ping the role, nobody responds. Like once one person showed up, and that was it. I have been a bit weary of streaming it, just because, like, I was getting really frustrated for a while, and a chunk of it seemed to be... A chunk of it was just really that the lobby system sucks, and the way they rank people up and down sucks. I guess I should go back to, well, no, I had the bombs now. Let's go. Oh, dude, yeah, the way that rankings work is terrible. The lobbies are terrible. And all I want to do is, like, if I'm going to lose, I want to lose very, very fast. And I want to move on and try again. And the unfortunate problem is that lobbies don't really help there. I would need to either get like lots of like park matches with viewers, or some, you know, whatever makes sense. Little bird, save Grunt. Grunt, be forever thank little bird. Little bird, save Grunt. Okay. Alright, well, you do you know. I got up to floor 8, and then in one match was knocked back down to 7, and then I basically sat in 7 for a while, got a bunch of crappy laggy matches, and spent a lot of time waiting, and eventually I got I put it down to 6 for a bit, and then I got back to 7 again. And it seems that part of it is because I can't get enough matches in to get match of experience versus all the characters. And some of the characters have like really rough matches for Faust. Like basically any of the faster characters, and then Ram as well. They're difficult matchups, and I can't get them enough. I can't, it doesn't let me play enough matches quick enough to learn. You play a chip against me because your European might be a bit laggy? I'd be willing to try it. Apparently people were getting matches against players in Japan, and it's been playable. As long as as long as your computer runs it at 60 FPS, I think that's the biggest concern. So one thing people were saying was that you want to, like, if you're ever playing in the lobbies, you always want to try playing one floor above you. And it seems the reason why is because it takes way longer to get ranked down. Because what happens is, like, more often than not, if you play the same floor you're in, if you lose once, they just push you right down. But if you're playing above your rank, it doesn't matter as much. With your friends, the very first match, the first 15 seconds is mega lag, but after that, all consecutive matches and rounds are just fine. Is it literally like low frame rates or just really high rollback frames? I think where I want to be is probably down to where, I don't know, somewhere down or to the left. Somewhere southeast. I keep thinking these are 3 hits and they're not. I mean, regardless, I'd be willing to try it. I don't really, like, I would rather play and get experience than not for Guilty Gear. And the biggest issue is literally just being, like, not even the quality of the matches, it's literally just getting into matches. Rollback frames usually say 2, that's fine. I think east of the door probably is no good. Just looking for other ways to get into this mushroom dungeon. Or more specifically to the frog's domain, because that's the biggest thing. Alright, iframes don't last that long. Play very Unga Bunga though? That's fine, I don't care. Just wanna... Well, if you don't block, then if I ever get a move going, then you're kind of boned. The moment Faust's breathing room is like the worst time to encounter a Faust. There, okay, so yeah, there's... Oh, and there's like a branch of something. I need to get over there. Friend played Faust, do you have no idea what's going on? Faust at least is a very slow character with bad frame data, so... Once you learn the matchup, it should be pretty easy. What is this? Found a corrupted antler. I wonder what creature this used to be attached to. I have an idea. A large antler riddled with deformations. It must have belonged to a formidable beast. It appears to have broken off some creature's head in a struggle before its owner plunged into the pits below. It looks oddly familiar. Damn straight it does. It's probably if there's a forest mother, I wonder if there's a forest father. One of those, like, what's the name of that dude from Warcraft? The Keeper of the Forest or whatever? Keeper of the Grove. Don't think I went here before. I'm pretty sure I haven't. I definitely have not. Ha! The crooked crow doesn't give up easily, huh? You know, out there, I was a tiny frog in a big pond, but here, I'm top of the food chain. And my favorite meal is all those delicious stray souls. You got your work cut out for you, Reaper. My subjects will see to that. That is crow pie for supper, and trifle for dessert. Our chef makes a fantastic trifle. How about no? Does it cost? It costs more. Oh, that's why. Okay, yeah, I didn't even notice it costs two pips for a bomb. Flooded Fortress, the Frog King's domain. But Abby, you're in the Discord, right? I don't know if I'm gonna be up for it tonight, but I'd be down for some matches. I don't care if the match is sketched. Maybe it'll slow. If it has like massive slowdown, at least it'll teach me. Like I'll have time to watch. Ooh, I recognize this mechanic. Whatever goes away after a time. I had I fought a few matches, a good few matches in, here we go, in the lobbies where the connection was terrible, and it was super slow-mo, and I feel like I was learning a bit. It was rough to play it, but it's easier to see stuff. Well, if you've been looking for a cleaner Discord experience, then I might get you covered, because I made a change to my Discord to where almost everything now is driven by rolls. There's like way more rolls, and you can just like reaction roll everything. Man, this game looks like freakishly good. I'm trying to figure out how much of this stuff is like, I don't know if, for performance sake, they're ever... I don't know if a lot of this stuff is pre-rendered or not anymore. Like, I'd have to look really closely at it. Because you can't, like, camera change much. You could sort of do this, but... It's hard to tell, like, how much of this is just, like, parallax on 2D, or... Oh, I guess with the lighting, it's... yeah, I can't even tell super easily here. How much of that is just like a very like subtle glow around everything. I have to go all the way around to get this. Okay. But yeah, this game looks so good that a lot of this is like I'm trying to eyeball if it's 3D or like, yeah, this is definitely because like you could see the bigger objects have to be. Otherwise, they wouldn't look great as you move the camera. But like the further away objects, you wouldn't notice if they were 2D. Not as easily. Especially if they're mostly not rotating the camera. I think a chunk of it is just like really good use of shading and lighting. And a chunk of it as well is like the depth of field is doing wonders for them. Like their use of depth of field in this game is awesome. Not a lot of 2.5D games use depth of field really well. Here we go. This game looks neat as fuck. Yeah, it does. Sorry, my brain short-circuited because somebody was saying AF is as foretold or something like that, and I just I was about to start reading it as foretold. The trailer foretold an excellent game, and so far it's been great. I don't know who came up with that. There's somebody who tweeted it. As foretold. Haven't seen one of these in a while. An intruder. They're intruding. You'll regret this flagrant. I was gonna say fragrant. This fragrant trespass. What would a fragrant trespass be? Like a stealth fart? Crop dusting somebody? This flagrant trespass. You're done for now, little bird. You're gonna get crushed. Oh. Oh, it's... You are certainly persistent, Crooked Crow. Do you like my armor? It was a size too small, but I think I made it work. Can you believe I found it just lying around? On a nearby corpse? Ah, yes. This is our... This is probably gonna be the armor of the forest... The, not Forest King. The Forest Father, or whatever it was. You are just another bleeding heart standing in the way of progress. This is the natural order. The strong survive. Hop on, Small Fry, hop on! You heard him. Hop on. I sure hope I don't end up between those chubby green cheeks. Hey, Spuds. Are they requesting a certain flavor of art for this game with those chubby green cheeks? Yeah, this game looked great. Oh, you're responding. I wasn't sure if this this dude was gonna sit there and stare or what. He just like, probably not. It looks cool though. And yeah, Sputs, I would say this is probably, like, in terms of, like, 3D overhead adventure games, this is probably tops. Presentation's good, plays well, story is intriguing so far. Oh, I thought I could knock it back. I guess... Pretty big boomerang. Boomerang hat, I should say. Visor? This, some of the way the music is used in this game is very reminiscent of Ori and the Blind Forest. Titan Souls with so much potential. I don't know about potential. I thought it was pretty well realized. Titan Souls was incredibly interesting and satisfying in how they used how basically either side of each encounter was a one-shot experience, and it was sort of like a combat puzzle game in a sense, where you're trying to figure out what you even need to do, and then like the part that was so cool about it is like you're literally trying to get that one moment, that one good moment where everything comes into place. And I've never played a game that does that as well. Not as well as Titan Souls. I got stuck on these. I keep thinking I can roll through and I can't. Also, the end of Titan Souls is great. If you, I don't want to spoil it, but there is some very late game stuff you can get that I think a lot of people didn't end up seeing. This is on the Switch, you'd buy it? You know, honestly, I thought it would be on Switch. I wonder if they got some sort of exclusivity. Wasn't this on Game Pass? Well, being an indie dev doesn't necessarily dictate the platform. And there's enormous amounts of indies on Game Pass. Like, Game Pass has like high value alone. Like, if you don't own any of the, like, or if there's many of the indie games there on Game Pass that you don't own, it starts to become like a really good proposition just for that. But regarding like platform exclusivity, I could see, like, especially as an indie dev, like, it helps, especially if you want to make a really high budget project as an indie dev. You wouldn't necessarily have a lot of money like just laying around to make a big project, even after a game like Titan Soul is doing well. So sometimes you have to take that extra cash. I mean, even for games like Bayonetta, they had to take Nintendo money to make it happen. Or no. I think it wasn't it Sega? No, I can't remember if it was Sega money or not. Only indie developer that's crazy to release everything on everything is Retro City Rampage. That's not necessarily the case. At least in terms of PC, one Microsoft console, one Sony console, and Nintendo. There's been plenty. Levy developed it by himself? That's possible, but more often than not, yes, even on day one. That's not unique. You have to be wary when you suggest that games are developed by one person, because, for example, like, a good example might be like Toby Fox, for example. Like, people think that Toby Fox was the single developer who did everything on Undertale, and that's not necessarily the case. Other people contributed to those projects. Or, for example, Concerned Ape for Stardew Valley, they had... Not only do they have, like, I believe they have more than one person just working at the core studio, but also they had other people that I believe were external to do porting work. Although, regarding Chucklefish, I think they did split. Or even this game. People were attributing the development of this game to like 2 people for Acid Nerve. But Acid Nerve made a post earlier basically saying, like, here's all the people who contributed to this project. Here's all the people who did development work. There is a sort of a fallacy that with how development is attributed to a single person. I believe it's a French term. I could be wrong. They were calling it like the auteur movement, like the author movement. Where like big, you know, like Kojima, for example, gets all the credit for everything that is like Metal Gear or, you know, any of the other projects he's worked on. But like enormous amounts of planning, design refinement, not only just QA or artwork, programming, like tons of people contribute to games, and each person that contributes to a game is adding flavor to the style, the development, everything, how the gameplay feels. And I think people get caught up in trying to find one person, one visible person, to be the sole person who did production for a game, and I think that is misguided. I wanted to try to like do some sort of bank shot, but I don't think I can get that. So some of the really large artists, they have like an army of hands working on them. Yeah. Like there's. It's extremely rare to see one person do every aspect of a project, or even a small group. Like, but especially these, like, the more impressive it looks, the more likely that it was not done by one person. Especially when you see all the like the follow through for like, you know, minimal bugs, extremely refined presentation, the UX is really good, all that kind of stuff. You start noticing, oh, there were actually a lot of people working on, you know, such and such project. It's a one-shot if you're willing to spend the time. I think I knocked the grenade back, or I just ate it. I don't know. Try and get these archers. Ah, you got a chance to shoot. Ah, okay. That's not good. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I'm trying to get these archers out of the way before they get a chance to shoot. Just so that they're not like hitting me in the back of the head while I'm going. But the issue is that they spawn like mid shot. Oh, come on, I gotta stop doing that. Hey, wait a second. Oh no, I did take damage. Oh, that's gonna be the end of that. Alright. You like how there are still Nintendo references for just in terms of like some of how the enemies. Ah, I'm so clumsy. For how some of the enemies work in this game, or you mean? They definitely aren't afraid to they aren't afraid to take a good idea and use it. Or I don't know. I don't necessarily think it as distinctly a Nintendo reference. I mean, this. In terms of, like, carnivorous plants, that's just... I am literally gonna die again. I'm already almost dead. I don't know of any boomerang-wielding enemy that works like these dudes. I think the willingness to attribute everything to a reference to something like Nintendo or another developer has done might be a little bit heavy-handed. Here we go. Just the same way as like, oh, there's keys and they open doors. It's like, oh, Zelda did that. It must be a Zelda-like. It must be because they were trying to rip off Zelda. It's like... That's just that's kind of like saying it has jumping, so it must be a Mario game. It must be a Mario clone. I would say though, like when you like some of the stuff that I would say you could start attributing more towards I've literally got to start paying attention. The stuff you can start attributing more to, like, for example, a Nintendo franchise, or to Zelda in particular, would be stuff like, you know, the sort of like, the back and forth, you know, oh, I swat an energy orb with a sword, and then they swat it back, and I keep going back and forth. Like that, you can start attributing more to Zelda. But like, you get abilities and chests or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's more like a D&D reference. Getting like special items and stuff. If you want to go that far as to try to attribute to something. There's currency. They ripped off the US Mint, you know, or whatever it is. I would say, if you're looking for things that seem a bit more inspired, I would say sort of the pacing of the areas with the way they structure some of the music feels very much like Ori and the Blind Forest. It feels very, very reminiscent of that. But if you wanted to say, oh, it has orchestrated music, it must be such and such game, it's like, eh. Yeah, I guess part of it is me being just super nitpicky about, like, oh, what's inspired by what? Must be Dark Souls. No, it has endless chorus that never goes away. It must be a ripoff of the ONS fight. Or, you know, but you could just as easily say, oh, it's ripping off the fight against Darth Maul in Star Wars. You know, you notice multi-boss fights you can't handle well? So, like, Formidable Guardians and Gradius or whatever? In fact, actually, if you're looking for a good reference that is super clear, they basically have a Formidable Guardians reference in Super Hydora, and they are wearing that on their sleeve. That's a distinct, clear one. Super Hydora is full of all sorts of references like that, though. I mean, it's, you know, that game is part awesome space shooter and part amazing homage to the entire genre. Is Formidable Guardians the 2-4 Tiki heads? No, Formidable Guardians is typically they play a track, or the name of the area is reminiscent of that. In Gradius Gaiden, the name of the level is called Formidable Guardians, and it's basically just a big boss rush. I'm not actually sure what the real name of it is. I know in Gradius Gaiden it's called Formidable Guardians, but you know, usually you have, you know, some big core variant. You've got Tetran, and then, you know, some of the other bosses. Lots of very similar bosses keep showing up over and over again in Gradius, and usually, if they don't show up in the course of a regular boss fight, it's always in the boss rush. Like I've just pretty much just gone the entire way backwards. I'm totally lost. I know someone in particular hates comparing games to each other. Hates saying, oh, this is reminiscent of this, or oh, you know, this reminds me of that. And while I understand from the perspective of basically saying not every mechanic or every enemy type or whatever, not every object in every game, like not every mushroom is a reference to Mario. There is the ability to recognize similarities, or when something is so distinctly similar, like for example the art style between Hollow Knight and Crowsworn. Like, yeah, like, they're very, very, very similar. Like, you could be convinced they're the exact same developer. Or, for example, the way that... So you know how Hyper Light Drifter basically has it to where melee attacks recharge your gun? And... in Unsighted, you have a similar mechanic? Or no. Unsighted doesn't have the mechanic. I thought Unsighted did. Yeah, Unsighted doesn't. Initially when I was playing it, I thought it did. This game does use that. And there aren't that many games that basically do that, to where your melee recharges your shots. And Hollow Knight, to some degree, does that. Although Hollow Knight's a bit more diverse. Hollow Knight basically just has mana. Like Mana Steel. Hyper Light Drifter basically says you were filling projectile pips per shot, per swing. And this game is very similar, even though it's sort of like it's closer to soft mana. You just don't have a lot of it, and it refills very, very quickly. But it's a mechanic where they're basically trying to say. They're trying to get you to use your melee, but they want you to have a ranged option as well. Have I played Runer? I had planned on playing it, but I couldn't get a feel for whether or not I liked the aesthetic or not. I felt some of the camera and some of the screen stuff was a little bit too much. Oh, it's a spammer dude, the bigger one. And now you're dead. But no, I guess I effectively missed the boat on Runer. I think a chunk of it is I couldn't get a feel for whether or not I liked how it wasn't so strictly a twin-stick shooter. Like, some of the pacing didn't feel so much like a standard kind of arcade style twin-stick shooter. Like all single-player games, you lose interest. Personally, I've been kind of a fan of single-player games because one is I don't have to deal with like other players, whether it's co-op or PvP. Most of the time, I don't want to deal with it. But the other thing is that it's nice to have games that you can play and then finish, and not feel like they just go on forever. Like they don't overstay their welcome. It's like watching a good movie. You know, you have an interesting interactive experience that has a definite end, so it never goes too long. I would say if I was to come up with a complaint with this game, though, I would say some of the dungeons, or at least so far, I'm at the beginning. Okay, you have this multi-layered, very extremely large dungeon you travel through to get to the Urn Witch, and I feel like it gets a little bit too long. But like the design of it's generally been clever, so I'm not like complaining too much. Adia, what games are you playing lately? If you did the competitiveness, I think weren't you playing? I could swear you're playing Destiny, but I don't know if that's because I think everyone plays Destiny. Maybe Overwatch instead. I don't know. Gotta get a beat on where I want to be here. This is kind of where I left off. Oh, I think they wanted you to look over here and be like, okay, I gotta hit this thing, and then be trying to figure out how to get into it, how to hit it. There's a couple other, not just. Ooh, that's a big dude. There were a couple of like twin stick shooter-esque games, like I don't know how to pronounce it. It's JYDGE or something. It's like it's Jidge or Judge. It's supposed to be Judge, but it's like it has instead of a U, it's a Y. That's why I just pronounce it Jidge. Jidge. That was another kind of twin stick shooter-esque game, but not like so strictly arcade style. It felt more like a half tactical game. And your character kind of has like a Judge Dredd aesthetic to it. Another one was Nex Machina? Nah, no Broforce. Broforce is too much ham and cheese for me. Plus, I wasn't thrilled by the presentation, like for how it seems to move. It didn't grasp me, but like the aesthetic definitely was a big turn-off for me. Over there. I think I already hit that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I already got it. The next, like, Contra-esque, like, run-and-gun shooter I think I'm gonna play is Iron Meat. That one is very Contra 1 inspired. I mean, it has a lot of its own aesthetic, but it is very reminiscent of Contra. Same way, like, Super Cyborg is very Contra inspired. And there are some things, like, if you're talking about things that, like, the games are doing, like, the combination of the jump arc plus the jump arc and the fact that you always somersault jump, like, those are very Contra things. Man, I don't know how to get over here. I think I'm missing something very distinct. Maybe it's just this. I think you know what it is? I skipped this, right? No? Oh no, they fell in the water. Little forest sprites. Maybe it's over here and this is what I missed. You like the games I play because you wouldn't play them? Just in terms of I get to show you something, something interesting and novel, or games that you might consider because you've never heard of them before? Oh, did I get this one before? Oh, you don't you dare. Spammer. This is just the door, wasn't it? Didn't I already get this? Yeah. I think the music being in like serious business mode, and I haven't fought anything in a while, or well, nothing substantial. I think it's a little bit much. Regarding making comparisons to games though, like discussing the similarities without necessarily saying this is a clone of this, I think that's kind of important because everything that you can experience is typically viewed through the lens of another experience. And every game that people that is, you know, that even if they're not super great for whatever reason, like if there's something that takes away from the experience, there's always something interesting you could take away from it. Like a good example of a game that was really, really cool but had some issues was In Verbis Virtus, where you're... Oh, that was the one I missed. Okay. Oh, and the glow goes away. Okay. That game, In Verbis Virtus... Oh my god. Alright. Less shooty. That game has you casting spells via spoken commands into a microphone, and it worked really, really well. And they put together a really interesting, very combat-light puzzle game from that, like with those mechanics, right? But I would say a couple of the puzzles were a little bit obtuse, and the bosses generally were really bad. There weren't that many. There were like 3. But they were pretty rough. The second one was okay. Apparently my aim is drunk today. I want to see another game developed with the same mechanics as In Verbis Virtus. Oh, it's auto-aiming. It's auto-aiming to these dudes. Ah, you're killing me. Alright. Oh, I'm out of... Right. Now I get the 4 shots. There's actually a few other games that were like that as well. Like, Necropolis was a really cool idea of having a Souls-style roguelite. And I really, really wish that game did well. Because it was co-op as well. It was a co-op Souls-style roguelite. But it just didn't have the level of... It didn't have the amount of content and the level of polish that it needed. But, like, I really wish that either those developers or somebody else would come and pick that up and do it upright. Because the idea is still sound. And I hope other prospective developers don't end up looking at it and go, oh, this game failed. This game didn't do very well. It wasn't a commercial success or whatever. I hope they don't end up looking at it and say, oh, like, it's impossible to make a good Soul-style roguelite, so we won't even try. Because there were other developers who did other stuff, like other takes on Souls that were good. Like you have a whole subgenre of Metroidvania that is just, oh geez. You have a whole other subgenre of Metroidvania that is Metroidvania, but where the combat behaves more like a Souls game. Or you have Sinner, which was basically a Souls-like boss battler. And not only was it a boss battler, but it had an interesting mechanic where you were effectively something between de-leveling your character and leveling laterally every time you went to go fight another boss. And it was really, really cool. Sinner Sacrifice for Redemption. I was trying to remember the subtitle. Oh. Oh no, I just realized I blew up my own bridge. I'm pretty sure, yeah. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. Or Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. That's probably why you're getting both of those mixed up, yeah. So, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon is basically a riff on one of the Castlevania games. One of the later Castlevania games where you can choose, like, you can switch between multiple characters. And it's a really excellent take, and there weren't that many games that, I know it's very, 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 very similar. I mean, if you want to go so far as say the mechanics are a duplicate, then I can understand it. But it was a really, really, really good take on the formula that nobody else has really done, so, like, I'm fine if people take something and basically rip it off if there's nothing, like, it is like nothing else in the genre that fits that niche. If you're talking about using the gun, though, you probably mean Ritual of the Night. Because playing, I don't know if this soft locks me or not. I kind of feel like it did. Or no, this would have been I broke a shortcut. Ritual of the Night has using a gun as like a big option that you can choose. Curse of the Moon, on the other hand, or more specifically Curse of the Moon 2, one of the characters named Robert, he's basically guns and grenades. Well, and, you know, other stuff. Yeah, I found the gun to be terrible, and the moment I realized it wasn't any good at all, I threw it in the garbage and never came back. But people have been playing Ritual of the Night with a gun, so, you know, it's an option, it's just not the good option. If you shoot right before landing, shoot when you land and dash shoot. Yeah, that's the common combo you have in most non-Souls-esque Metroidvanias, where you can jump cancel and dash cancel everything. So you basically jump swing, do swing, dash back swing, and that was like the way you get a lot of big hits very quickly. That was like the gold standard for like medium and heavy weapons in, especially in the like Konami, like the Igavania, the official ones. Had so much trouble with the samurai boss guy? You mean Zangetsu? The first fight wasn't that bad. The second fight was rough. Did I really soft lock myself? Or, you know, I'd have to go back to a checkpoint and reload the world. I think I did. Maybe you go down to the left or something, yeah. Hey, wait a second. One of these is looking... No, that's the bridge I took out. Ah, crap. Come on, man. Don't do this to me. Oh, does that make everything come back? Does that fix everything? Oh, maybe it's expired. Maybe I destroyed it or something. I don't know. Well, we're here. We're back to attacking enemies now. I gotta find a more comfortable sitting position. My leg, my leg is like all at a freakish angle, cutting off circulation, and it's bad enough too that not only am I sitting like crap, but I've been like doing proper exercise recently, and my arms and legs are messed up. It's weird. Like I wanted to say I've been hitting the gym again recently as like the short way to describe what I've been doing, but there's no gym for me. Not in this era. Not when everyone's sick and nobody wants to wear masks and stuff. The joy of living in stupid Texas. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's mostly that it's too crowded, but it's also stupid, and the local government is terrible. And people don't want to wear masks. Ah, these archers, they gotta go. Personally, for me, I would say it's the cost of living sucks and the traffic sucks. But also, the local government is terrible. Like, the Texas government is terrible. And nobody wants to wear masks. So, like, where I'm at is going to be a big giant COVID hotspot because everyone's getting sick. And even though I'm vaccinated, and even if I do happen to get the Delta variant or whatever, it won't be as bad. But, like, I don't want it, and it's all because of stupid people who won't wear masks and a terrible government. I get my... How many... I don't even have... don't even have 750, let alone 1500. But this should be pretty close. Yeah, the frog's gotta be right there, I bet. Well, I can get back easy. I'm actually gonna take off these compression gloves for now. As nice as they can be, they make it harder to grip the controller, because the controller is a little slippery, and my hands sweat a teensy bit. But I mean, yeah, the biggest, like, direct concern that I have is just the fact that the cost of living sucks and there's too much traffic. Oh, I just realized you get your health back. I wanted to hit one of those flower pots, but I don't have to. Yeah, this is where they show it is 3D. It's not just pre-rendered. It looks that good in 3D. The city cost? No, just the cost of living. Like, especially like rent, and there's gonna be no housing. Oh, all of it's gonna be expensive, but I also I don't want to live in rural Texas because that's gonna be even worse. It's gonna be dumber and more racist, and I just don't want to deal with that. Crooked Crow, clearly my grunts have failed to teach you a lesson, so I'll have to do it myself. After I'm done with you, I'll use your feathers to buff my armor and make it all shiny. I'll be the most handsome creature under the shadow of the door. Alright. Squishy time. Though I'm gonna move out of the way, maybe. Or not. Guardian of the Flooded Forest. Lord of his domain, rule of his always first, champion of the people, keeper of the five oaths. First name, second of the other name, used without initial mercy, just for all those, whatever. Apparently, that's he took a note from Zote. Should probably figure out what I'm gonna hit here. You know what? Not even that. Oh, they did mention the armor's too big. Oh, and then they mentioned this big squishy butt. That's probably what it is. They're explicitly, yeah, calling out the weak spot from earlier. Yeah, okay. I think I've been cutting off straps for his armor, too. This is the first time I've had frame rate issues in this game. Ooh. Oh, yeah, I guess it was difficult to fit in it, do that armor. He said he made it work. Is that... Oh, yeah, there's the armor. Oh. I mentioned earlier I was worried about... Oh, you can even shoot... Okay, I didn't expect to hit it. But you could even shoot his staff... Or not staff, scepter? What are you calling this thing? Cudgel? Mace? I need to hit it soon, though. You can hit that to get your tiles back. Frog bosses need to be more common? I'm not opposed to that. Thought that would do a bunch, but I didn't want to drown in the process. They must have some really, like, I don't even know what I consider it to be, but something about how they're, like, whatever rendering tech they're using, I don't know if it's, like, really good anti-aliasing or what, but something about the game looks so incredibly crisp. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're rendering it at a higher internal resolution or something? Like, I don't know. It's just like, something about it looks... that's why it's easy to suspect that it would be pre-rendered, but it's not. Because you would think, if you pre-render it, then you just, you couldn't just render it at a super high resolution and downscale the sprites or whatever. Oh no. Where do I spawn? Okay. I want to try setting him on fire, but... Ooh. That can't be it. Okay. I wasn't sure if you would have some sort of super murder phase, but... This is fine. I was definitely hitting a level of difficulty. And I wasn't ready for... Is this going to take me back to, Florida Doors? No? Oh, okay, we're doing the eulogy already. We gather here today to mourn the passing of the Frog King. A bold and fearless leader, he was persecuted for a simple desire to place all of the forest under his rule, and occasionally his bottom. His reign is ended, and his absence will be felt across the swamp. Bow your head in remembrance, pay your last respects. His time in this world is over. I don't remember if they had a spotlight on the Urn Witch, but I'm finally recognizing that they have this little nice, this is just a nice extra touch to have the spotlight. Some will be pleased the king is dead. But a life is a life, and in death we are all unified. But yeah, as I was saying before, something in the way this game is rendered looks so good for 3D. And it must be some common thing that everyone has access to, or I don't know what. Like, I don't want to consider just to be just this game that has figured something out. But maybe that's the case. Because I feel like normally if you have a lot of smaller 3D things like this that are fully 3D, maybe there has been some sort of better anti-aliasing solution that is more commonly used now. But I don't know, it does look so good. Like, I could probably just check the options and see. I turn it off. Yeah, you can see it looks a little grittier around the edges. Maybe they just have good anti-aliasing for whatever they're doing. But yeah, you can see, like, you look at the characters as they move, even with it off, it just doesn't look amazing. I guess part of it is, like, they must just be using, like, really good some good solution for that to make everything look so much better than you'd expect, because, like, normal anti-aliasing in games doesn't look like this. And I like Ori and the Will of the Wisps doing everything in 3D has had that as well. Like, I guess everyone's using some better solution. But it looks so good. You found a giant arrowhead. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of one of these. No, I would not. This arrowhead would have been much too large to fit into any normal bow. You sense latent soul energy contained inside. The previous owner must have imbued it with some of his soul in order to prevent or delay his death. In this aspect, is a direct forerunner to the weapons that modern Reapers use themselves. That's actually true. I wonder what how did the frog escape? Like, so the Urn Witch was like, okay, well, if everything is in urns, we can obscure souls. But did the Frog King just take an arrowhead, and that was how that worked? I don't know. I'm looking for like another portal or something to take me out, besides going to the door that I opened, the shortcut door. Part of the reason why I'm calling out this game being 3D and looking as crisp as it does, and so like the image quality is so good, is that like if you look at the presentation for like what you would consider to be the closest competitor to this, which would be the remake for Link's Awakening, it doesn't look nearly this good. It doesn't look nearly this crisp. You know, the depth of field in Link's Awakening is nowhere near as good as this. And I'm wondering, like, what combination of things is making this look as good as it does. You know, because I don't think, like, it's not the alternative where everything is pre-rendered 2D. Like, so, like, a huge portion of everything in Hades is, like, a mix of hand-drawn and pre-rendered stuff, right? And they have enormous amounts of good art, but, like, having it all be pre-drawn and pre-rendered allows them to get a lot of not only performance, but just a really high visual quality. But doing it in 3D is like a whole other challenge. And the fact that they make this game look so freaking good is just it stands out. I've got the I've got the stolen recording device, the antler. Still got my horn and everything else. Can't afford to do this yet. I really should invest elsewhere, but I just want to be that guy who just maxes out my spellcasting. It's weird that there wasn't like a... I guess the first boss that you kill, and I guess it has to be the Erd Witch. The first of the giant souls, or whatever it is. I can't remember what it's called. Grand souls, giant souls, big souls. But I guess the first one is what dictates the appearance, like the cutscene. The cutscene that you have with the Lord of Doors. Oh, this is the very beginning. Hold on. Yeah, I keep thinking that there's a closer checkpoint to go talk to our gravedigger friend. I gotta look at his nameplate. I can't remember what his name was. Well, you know what, actually? No. I was gonna say, maybe you could have fought the Frog King last, but you still have to get the bomb thing. So you can't go fight the beast. Can't fight the beast next. You've certainly been keeping me busy. However, it's nice to have something to focus on. Sending the dead on their journey may seem like a depressing task, but it gives me a sense of purpose. Tell me where I'm supposed to go. Oh. Well, I think the path that I need to take is going to be wherever it's going to be. It's whichever one needs me to destroy stuff. And in fact, I should be browsing around a bit. I should probably go to the beginning of the game and just take a look, because I bet there's tons of stuff I need to light on fire, as well as tons of small walls I need to blow up. I hope there happens to be some sort of like documentary or, you know, some sort of, you know, GDC video or something that talks about getting the aesthetic of this game to look as good as it does. Because the art style certainly is doing tons of work here, but something in how stuff is being rendered is uniquely good. Some combination of stuff that they're doing is really good here. Oh, also, regarding the thought that this game would come on Switch, considering how much of this stuff is fully 3D and not just, like, pre-rendered, I don't know, like, I wonder what compromises are going to be made to make this run on Switch. Because it doesn't get a perfect 60 on my machine. It gets pretty close most of the time. And my machine is, like, with the exception of the hard drive, it's not significantly different than like a PS5, performance-wise. I unfortunately do not have an M2 NVMe SSD yet. I want one. I want two, or really, I want three. I want two for video storage and one for my OS. Well, the second video storage is going to double as my game storage drive. Although if I just get a giant OS drive, then I don't really care about having OS and game on the same drive. Not when it's going to be 10 times faster than the fastest traditional SSD. Or as fast, at least. Because it's like, you know, the read-write speeds, instead of being like 300 megs or whatever, they're like 3,000 or more. Reminds you to get an external hard drive for just for like video storage and stuff in general, or like, you know, for hobby stuff, or do you mean for games, so to get an external drive for PS5 or whatever? Man, I wonder, you know, actually the funny thing, I wonder if you can install the new Ratchet & Clank game. Can you install that not on an SSD? Ah, yes. What are the doors? Where do you fire? The one on PS5. The PS5 one I thought was completely new. I wonder if you can install that on not the base SSD on the. Ooh, we got spider problems. Yeah, in the dimension swapping is basically just like lots of world loaded, and then very short load screens. But I'm curious if you could install it on like spare storage for a PS5, like what would the loads look like? What would the dimension switching look like? I'd imagine they probably have to account for that. Assuming they don't just tell you can't run this on not that storage, not the M2 NVMe drive. I want to know now. Like if I end up getting a PS5 and I end up getting that game for whatever reason, like I don't intend to play it. I don't have any strong interest in it. Except for I only have strong interest in it for a technical reasons. I want to know how that game is. I want to have a closer look at how it's loading stuff. Because people were like assuming, oh, it's magic, and it's like it's only possible on PS5, and it's like, no, it's just if you have fast enough hardware, you don't have to make so many compromises. We've just hit a point where in game development where people aren't as concerned with focusing solely on graphics. It's like, oh, having a faster drive actually is worth it, and not just to minimize the like multi-minute PlayStation load screens as well. But like you could do, you know, we have drives now that are capable with modern presentation for games, we have drives that are fast enough to do gameplay things now, to allow you to basically do things that you wouldn't bother with because the load screens would be too long. Where instead of, having to make the player wait, 15 seconds every couple minutes, you can now say you wait 2 seconds and you can do it 2 or 3 times in a minute and the player doesn't care. And as long as the load screen is flashy enough, then, players will enjoy the experience. And the load screen is just, put the character in an animation that looks like they're falling through space, and then put a static texture in the background. And I'm not saying that, that they're bad for doing that, because, majority of video games, especially the impressive ones, is all smoke and mirrors, and magic is valid and interesting and cool. Stage performances or sleight of hand or whatever you want to call it. That makes shit cool. That's not a bad thing. But saying it's magic as in, impossible fantasy is the sort of thing that happens when people don't understand smoke and mirrors. Yeah, sleight of hand is impressive. I mean, that's, even though Penn and Teller spend all this time, explaining people's tricks, it's it's cool to see. Doesn't make it any less valid. It just, I think people misinterpret things as being fantasy magic or, wizardry, when it's just extremely clever or good uses of the materials that they have, whether it's technology, whether it's speed of hardware. I think the reason why I tend to be so, so critical of people who assume that everything's magical and impossible to do except for, on a particular platform or a particular developer or whatever, right? They assign so much mysticism to these things. And I think it basically does two things. One is I think it dissuades people from trying to do cool things because they think that they're not capable of doing it because it's some sort of magic that's not achievable via normal means. And the other thing is that, the people who start assuming stuff is untouchable magic are the same people who, believe arbitrary things due to religion. And those things tend to be destructive to other people. So, that's why I tend to be on the line of, I tend to be the kind of person who pushes for a more realistic interpretation of things. See people who point out that the WWE is fake. Well, yeah, I don't want to go on the other. I don't want to go on the other side of being very nitpicky or contrarian or super obsessed with being the ever skeptic or whatever. Should be using bombs for that. I don't want to be the perpetual skeptic for things. It's just when people get so wrapped up in stuff. When people get so wrapped up in stuff, thinking that oh, like for example, one platform is better than the other, where it's like it does something that is not achievable elsewhere, then I'm just perpetually rolling my eyes. Should be easy bombs over being to be over skeptic. No, I just meant I should be using fire. Man, I really want to do something with these, but probably can't. I've got to not attack right away into these portals because the enemies begin to attack before they're vulnerable. Yeah, that one has a long wind-up for the cast. But it's already mid-cast coming out of the portal. I think the flash when using the bomb is probably too much. Oh no, they're gas versions of the previous ones. Ooh, large version of the bugs. Oh, it's got the babies in the back. Oh wow, it's got a very long charge. All right, you. Oh, those are like bone plants, like skull flowers or something. Bone plants. It's like cattails, but with dicks. I'm gonna not do that. Oh, this isn't a boss fight or something. Ooh. Wait, how do I get that one, though? Oh, I definitely can't roll that. Yeah. I wanted to see if these have anything to do with anything, but no. I don't think I can do this. Maybe at some point I get the ability to aim those? I think somewhere was one of those pots that I can plant stuff in, and I need to find it. I want to get that. Oh, it's like a compass. Maybe, maybe instead of it being a compass as like a dungeon map, maybe it's a compass as in I can give a direction to my fireballs or something. Like control your spells, like it's a magic compass. Oh, you know what, I'm a genius. Look at this. So, those are the way of that drop down that I've been ignoring the entire time. Compass. It occasionally twitches and turns of its own whims. It's clearly very old. It's clearly very old. Perhaps magnetism inside it has mostly worn away. Compass occasionally twitches. Okay, must have belonged to an explorer who was searching for the legendary door. Well, I thought this might change the direction of my spells, but maybe not. Ooh, more stuff though. Oh, that helps. I want that. Wait, this is a loop around. Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense. What was the way in then? Oh, you know, this is the gate I've been looking at. This is the other side. Alright, well that means I can come back later then. I'm wondering if I get every single shiny, is that important for, yeah, this is the way, this is the normal way in. If I get every shiny, does that give me, like, a better ending? I feel like games lately have been trying to get away from that trope. The 100% true ending, you know? So now I don't know what to expect. Hey, I can get the max magic. I gotta go find a door, though. Actually, considering it's kind of late, the next door I get to, next time I get back to the office, that's gonna be when I call it, I think. So I didn't get to sleep until like 5 o'clock in the morning last night, or I guess this morning. So I am a bit tired. Otherwise I try to push it a little bit longer. But I am sort of beat. Ah, man. I really think there's like a short flight or a jump ability that you get. Because, like, it kind of smacks of it, doesn't it? I like how it just made a big loop. I want to plant that, but I have no need to. And there's no cost for me not playing it now. Another astounding victory. I'm impressed by your courage and vigor, fledgling. Once again, I reiterate, I have been stuck here for such a long time and accomplished so little in comparison to you. You have given this old crow hope for the first time in many, many years. Just one more giant soul, and we can open Death's door. I suggest you head west. Oh, the old crow, the gray crow is telling you that, not the gravedigger. This is where, like, my brain just does not work. I kept thinking, oh, I gotta go back to the gravedigger, because the gravedigger is gonna tell me where to go. But that's not the case at all. Atop the mountain, you will meet an ancient beast of untold years. Yep. Also, the quality, like the I know it's so, like, it's not a complex scene, but like the way that this even the shape of the rocks and everything leading up to this, to the door here, like the choice of how they're structuring everything here just looks so good. Like, they definitely have an eye for making really striking looking visuals, like striking scenes. Same with like every fight against Avarice so far. Those like challenge, you know, those. Oh, is this literally? No, this is the Urn Witch. Yeah. I gotta go more west than this. The mini boss or challenge room fights for Avarice are also really good. Yeah, there's part of the manor. I'm just looking for a door. The Stranded Sailor. That's probably where I need to go next. And this is the one that has a duplicate somewhere else that I keep forgetting about. I don't know if I've been down here or not. Nope. Ooh, hello. Hey! Who do you think you are? Oh, you got a three-parter, do ya? Alright, you got a turnaround attack. I think he's blind. Hits like a truck. Oh, I thought I rolled it. You're so quick. Where would I respawn? Oh, well, the nearest whatever door, I guess. Oh, yeah, I guess this is the one I went into before. Please tell me I still have the majority of my souls. Yeah. Or my soul power, or whatever the term was. Maximum specialist, yeah. Maximum magic.